All right, what's up? Good morning, everybody. This is the Misguided Podcast. This is Mike.
And this is your boy Juwan, and we are back with episode 3.
Episode 3. Got some stuff to talk about as we usually do. So let's kick it off with usually we kick it off with the current events. Let's talk about some new music that came out. I wanted to talk about that new J Electronica that dropped with Jay-Z. When I first listened to it, I didn't know that Jay-Z was gonna be on the whole album.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be J Electronica.
I haven't heard it yet, but I heard a lot of people didn't on other people's podcasts and radio and stuff.
For sure.
How was it?
I thought it was great. I thought it was it's an album that I feel like not a lot of people are gonna appreciate. Like if you're into like more just like the new age rap and you're just into straight like I need to hear a banger, I need that beat to come in, like I need that trap beat or that drum beat, stuff like that. Like you're probably not gonna appreciate it, but lyrically, sonically, everything about the album, like it was amazing. It's like unlike anything I've heard in a while. Like it's really good. It reminds me of and not exactly in the way that it sounds, but it reminds me of To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick.
Okay.
Like kind of just in the way that like I feel like that album went like over a lot of people's heads like on how good it was because it didn't hit you with that straight like, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't hit you with that obvious like that turn up kind of like, but it's really good, especially like lyrically.
You think this will age really well? Because like To Pimp a Butterfly, a lot of people didn't like kind of at the first. But
yeah,
now
that's a good
they
point.
love it. Now it's his best album. Blah,
that's
blah,
a good
blah.
point. I feel like that's how this album will be for sure. And it's like
It's his only album.
Exactly, it's his debut album, and it took 10 years to make. Like so, that's what's really interesting about it.
Forever.
He's been in the game forever, and this is his first album. Man, yeah, lyrically the guy is on another level. He uses a lot of references to like religion. He uses a lot of references to like Islam and like Egypt. And,
Okay.
Like, it's dope. It's dope. I really like. He has a different sound, so it's a different album. Like you got to give it a couple listens, but it's really good.
Okay, for sure.
Yep.
Any other music stood out to you?
Other than
Friday?
that, I listened to Don Toliver. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do.
But
I do.
For sure.
He's nice.
And yeah, he had a lot of good. He surprised me because I never really listened to him. His songs came across on my Spotify sometimes.
Okay.
And I would pop up, so I would listen to him.
Yep.
But never really thought to just like listen to a whole album from him. But it was really good. One of my it was Romeo who actually shout out to Romeo. He actually suggested it to me.
Okay.
And yeah, it was really good.
Don Toliver, it's called Heaven or Hell.
Yep.
So make sure you guys go check that out. It has Travis Scott, the Migos, Sheck West, so that's probably a banger. Okay, for sure. Did you hear the Tyga and Megan Thee Stallion song?
Nah, I didn't listen to that. How was it?
It's called Freak. Tyga's just
Of course it is.
I don't know. Tyga, I wonder what like Tyga be thinking when he's creating songs, but it's just pretty much like pull my hair or something. Like he's like saying like rub my hair, comb my hair or something in the song.
Man.
Megan snapped though.
For sure.
It's cool. I mean, it's just like a Tyga song.
It's a Tyga song.
It's a
for
Tyga
sure.
song. And I fucks with Tyga. But yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those artists where like you always know what you're getting.
Always.
It's gonna be a banger. You're not really gonna have any substance. The good times to listen to it.
That's very true.
When you're getting ready to go out, when you're in the car, it's never gonna put you in a in a intellectual vibe or anything like that. But nah, he's a good artist though.
Facts.
For sure.
We got the Boss Man by Rich the Kid album came out. I listened to a couple songs. He cool.
I feel like he's the same kind of artist that we just described.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what you get from
You
Rich
know
the Kid.
exactly what you're getting into, so you kind of got to go in with that mindset. I listened to the song with the Baby and Nicki Minaj. Those were good. And Post Malone. Post Malone makes great music. I know he's crazy, but he makes great music.
Alright, for sure. I'll check out that album. I didn't even think to listen to Rich the Kid's album, but I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, they got Lil Uzi.
I feel like I've heard him on a lot of stuff.
Well, we talked about him last week.
Yeah, and he's saying that he's finally able to drop music again, so it's probably why we're hearing a lot from him.
Yep. So, listeners, let us know what music we missed, any underground artists that you'd like to share, so we can highlight on the podcast any artists that want to come do an interview. Hit us up at the Misguided Podcast on all socials and email themisguidedpod@gmail.com. Before we end our music section, what any artists that you want to shout out? Kind of like that you think don't deserve it or get enough recognition at the moment?
Oh yeah, I've been listening to this guy. His name's Coda the Friend.
Oh,
He's really good. He's
bro. The
really
people
good.
who book my the people who I do like the shows through,
Yeah.
they manage him.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, he's like the first artist to. It's called We Book Band. Sean Healy. He's the first artist that has ever signed to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's pretty dope. Like
he's really good.
He's selling out shows and he's so underground.
Man, he's good, bro.
He's
I
nice.
definitely would recommend him. Coda the Friend. I think it's Kota. Yep.
That's lit. That's lit. Okay. I'd kind of like to shout out this new cat from I guess not new, but his name is G Perico. He's from Compton. I just kind of watched the documentary on him, and it gave me more in depth. But his music is like think Eazy-E.
Yep.
Nipsey.
Right.
Ice Cube. And like, let's see, another one. Let's see. What's another? Like YG, all in one person.
All right, for sure. That's
Like,
that's some high praise.
With the voice of it, but it's
kinda
like
selling pretty high, so you better be good.
he's cool. I mean, like it depends what type of music you like. You feel me?
Man.
Like, he's all about like his voice is literally Eazy-E. Like he's like Eazy-E's son. And just kind of like his pockets are like Eazy-E. But like his documentary is really dope. You gotta go check him out.
For sure. Say his name one more time.
G Perico.
G Perico, for sure.
He got his own store. Pretty much like literally he's like Nipsey Hustle grind. Had his own store before his music even went crazy.
For sure.
It's called So Way Out. Pretty dope. So shout out him. Check his music out if you're in a thug mood. And yeah, that's our music segment. Let's move on to sports.
Yeah. So obviously, the sports world was hit this week. Man, everything shut down, and we kind of predicted that on our last podcast. Or not all sports, but we were talking specifically about the NBA. We kind of went into a bunch of scenarios about if the NBA were to shut down. And I don't think either of us thought it would actually happen.
No,
but we kinda,
especially this soon.
I know, especially this soon, but we for sure were just talking about it.
It shut down as they were doing tip-off for a
Yeah.
game. Like, bro ran out onto the court and was like, nah. Which is crazy. You know, we got to talk about Rudy Gobert.
Man.
We got to. So, let's start off with that. I mean, what are your thoughts after watching
Man, after seeing like the press conference he had on Monday and then touching all the mics and stuff, that was like super ironic that he was the first one to be tested positive for
it was a meme at first. Like everyone was like, "Oh, that's funny." And then now that sports are shut down, everyone hates him.
Man, yeah, it's they're saying he has like a big rift with his teammates right now.
Huge, because they said he was being careless in the locker room.
Right.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out when the season starts back up again, whenever it does start, hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, to see how it plays out, like with his teammates, if they're able to move past that, because I mean that's something. A lot of people are like are gonna take it seriously. Like I would take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like if you you know what I'm saying. Like regardless of how serious it is, regardless of the symptoms I'm feeling, like for you to just put me in jeopardy. Like now I got to quarantine for 14 days, and I can't see my family, and I now have a chance of infecting other people that I've been around. Like
I think that's the worst part about it is like we know that like. Okay, a lot of us aren't going to die from it, but it's the fact that now we got to isolate ourselves.
Right.
Now we got to stop working. Now we can't play basketball or whatever, whoever it is. But
I would be upset at a teammate's like, I don't care if you have coronavirus or you have a common cold. Like, why are you like being careless and just touching
Same
people
thing with
like
strep.
that? You know what I'm saying?
They won't let you play with strep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because of how contagious. Well,
Man.
I mean, like, we had to stop playing. A lot of like strep went around
for
on
sure.
our team, and like. That's a huge contagious thing.
Right. Just any type of contagion, like that. Why are you being careless about it in the first place? Like, okay, we get your point. Like, you don't got to prove a point. Just like be touching everybody and coughing on. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but it was enough to make your whole team kind of resent you. So you must have been coughing on people and just doing some weird stuff. So
it's kind of wild, man. That's kind of wild.
Definitely.
Yeah, Rudy, man. I see you over here trying to make it up with donating $500K to people diagnosed with coronavirus, but this is gonna take some long time healing from the fans. You literally shut down the NBA. They were gonna shut down no matter what. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like they would have shut down maybe a little later, later in the week. At least a couple of days. But now you're being blamed for shutting down.
A couple more days of basketball, man.
For real.
Thanks a lot, Rudy. But also, you know what? The league I feel bad for is the XFL. Like.
Why?
Because they just started. The XFL, they were a league back in, I want to say, I forget the exact year, but they started in 2002 or something like that. And they folded after a year. Did all this planning and stuff, set up for this great comeback. They're doing all this marketing.
And now there's a lot of
attention. People are there's a lot of attention on it. People are actually liking it and stuff, and then then they just got shut. They closed after seeing everybody else close. They just shut down.
Yeah.
So it's man, that kills so much momentum for a league like that. That they're basically a startup league, coming right back, and they were really gaining some ground. So I feel like it really sucks for them. Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I'd say, let's see. I felt like the hockey team, as soon as they announced that they were shutting down, pretty much, Twitter went on this viral rant, pretty much saying how as soon as hockey shuts down, of course there's some Canadians that are finding cures. If you saw that, there's some Canadians that are kind of close to
I saw that
finding a cure finally. So it's just kind of funny and ironic, but yeah, I found that interesting, man. The whole sports world is shut down. Everyone's in quarantine, so there's a lot of Netflix and chilling, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a baby boom. They say it's gonna be the next baby boom.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
I low-key could see it, man.
Yeah, depending on how long this lasts, definitely could be.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So let us know your thoughts. How you feel about the sports world? Anybody want to call in and talk about their ideas and opinions on what's happening and how it's affecting sports and future plans? You can email us at themisguidedpod@gmail.com, and we could get you on a phone call, man. But yeah, I'd say the world is just, it's kind of like we're reacting now.
I know,
we're being proactive.
I know we should have been if we would have started doing this in January, we'd be in a way better place than we are right now.
How is the United States not already in quarantine or lockdown? We're the last ones, and we're over here scrambling for toilet paper and water. Mind you, in other countries, before they went on lockdown, they weren't scrambling for toilet paper and water.
Right.
I have some friends that are abroad right now, and they were just kind of saying how everyone is just way more calmer than Americans.
Right.
It's just all right, stay inside, and then no one's going out buying 10 things of toilet paper.
I know, it's super weird, man. Just everything, this apocalyptic mob kind of mentality of people just clearing out all the stores when it's
the ammo is gone for all the guns. People are gonna. Yeah, right. It's kind of crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just what are you really doing? People are followers, man. I'm sorry, sorry to say, but it's you're just doing stuff because other people are doing it. And now it's forcing other, people like me who I don't even, I would never go out and, I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of toilet paper, buy stuff in bulk and, just for for this. But now it's okay, now everything's off the shelves. So I got to get something now.
You got to get something.
Now you kind of have to. So now y'all are forcing, everybody else to kind of fall in this.
It is.
This hectic cycle, but,
it's the media.
Panic is not a strategy.
Yeah.
You need a strategy to survive in a time like this or in any difficult situation, and panic is not a strategy. Proper planning is what people actually need, but it's I mean, it is what it is.
That's true, man. That's true. So I want to talk about. I know I texted you yesterday about the movie on Netflix called Pandemic.
Oh yeah.
So you probably haven't watched it yet. But we were watching it yesterday, obviously, Netflix and chilling, because we were just been watching shows. But that was one of the shows we watched, and I was kind of watching it as like a joke, like, okay, let's see what these people are lying. So it came out like in January, right? Kind of right when the coronavirus happened.
Right, yes.
In other places, right? And excuse me. And I don't have corona, guys. Don't worry. But it came out in January, and it's pretty much talking about like things that cause the pandemics and like how we can prevent them. It follows different type of people. Some doctors out here in San Francisco who are working to kind of create a vaccine that has all of the strands. Right?
Right.
It has the swine flu, it has the bird flu, it has the corona, all these strands that we can shoot up in people, and then it's kind of like the vaccine, like they're like the flu shot. They have found it's working. The only thing is they're trying to get it down to one shot. Right now, you have to take 7 of those shots to get the full effect, which is a lot. No one wants to go to the doctor 7 times, especially if you hate shots, and get 7 shots. So they're trying to just break it down to 1. Shout out San Francisco. Always some smart people here. And it just follows different people trying to like help the pandemic. Like it goes from India, it goes to China. And man, China. I don't even know what to say with you guys. It seems like every freaking flu virus starts there. It's like, it's sad, but it's also like I think of China, I think of like the most advanced, like,
right.
I don't know. I mean, obviously America's like number 1 as far as whatever.
But is it really, are they all really starting there though?
Yeah. All of not like Ebola, okay? Not like those type of viruses.
Well, I know,
Ebola's a different type of
that's transmitted through blood. That's like a whole different thing.
Yeah. So, but it's all the flu viruses. So swine flu, bird flu, all those are coming from the chickens in China. And it's kind of like, that's what the documentary was kind of exploring, like especially when the swine flu pandemic happened. But it's just like, you got to go watch the documentary, learn a little bit more. It literally predicted this.
For sure.
Like literally predicted this.
You know, it's crazy. A lot of people predicted this.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like health experts and disease experts actually predicted this. Mm-hmm. So,
and they talk about they interview a lot of them.
Yeah. So it's interesting that, you know, like with all this information and knowledge out there, that no one stepped in or tried to halt anything like this. And what's even crazier is like what's gonna stop this from happening again, and what's going to stop it from a more serious outbreak happening, something that does have a extremely high fatality rate. That's a lot of the type of things that confuse me in all this, is like, what's the end goal? Because it's not like our dependence on other countries such as China and our travel and our it's not new that like how interconnected the world is. So if there is any type of virus like this, like what's going to stop it from spreading again? You know what I'm saying? Like when things go back to, or when any semblance of normalcy, what's going to stop this from just, you know, repeating itself?
Well, I think it would be what I was just talking about, would be that vaccine that has, you know, the cure, that has the flu and all the strands in that vaccine. That's what they're trying to move towards. And the crazy thing is they only needed $2 million. The San Francisco startup out here, I forgot the name of it, but you'd have to watch the thing, like, which is in a lot. Like, I'm sure after this pandemic right here, they're gonna get way more than $2 million for that. You know, like that the movie's trending right now on Netflix.
I know.
And so,
all those movies are trending.
All
right
the
now.
outbreak,
outbreak,
so
contagion.
Like when people see that, or you know, you get these millionaires, and that now they're gonna definitely invest in it. So they're definitely gonna get a lot of money. Great marketing idea.
For sure.
Maybe they created the fucking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
shoot, I don't want to say too much about that because I don't want a red sniper dot on my head. So.
Nah, yeah.
But
I fucks with what they're doing too. Don't get that right. I think it's a great idea. Would you take it? We talked about this in episode 1.
I'm not taking any vaccines.
You explain right here. Give me a little quick breakdown. If they had a vaccine, you already did, but if they had a vaccine for all the strands, and pretty much it would prevent anything like this from happening. So the next coronavirus happens, you already took the shot. Like you.
Well, I haven't had coronavirus. I haven't had bird flu, swine flu. I haven't any of that stuff. So, is it even real? No, I'm just playing with you. Nah, coronavirus is definitely real. I'm just joking. But nah, seriously, I don't. I just need a whole bunch of more information before I put something. Before I let somebody inject me with something. Like I'm not gonna say I'm completely opposed to it, but I just need way more information. Like I'm not just gonna get a shot just because they say that it's good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
I need to see the effects on people. I need to see what it. I want to see what it does long term. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not gonna know for another
exactly. So I'm not gonna be one of the first people to do it.
That's exactly what I told Lucia. I was like,
could you?
Oh, Siri, Jesus. No, that's exactly what I told my girl. Like, I asked the same question. I was like, I don't know what it does long term. Like, we've seen the flu vaccine and what it does long term because it's been around for a while.
Exactly.
We know it hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah.
Not yet. Like, we know that it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just a moral thing. Like, I don't want it. Like, I don't need it. But we haven't seen, like, this new vaccine and what it will do long term. That's great, yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. Now, but I think it's a thing of thinking for others, okay? The vaccine's not necessarily for you. Just like right now, the whole corona thing, you know, the young people, they don't want to quarantine themselves. They want to be hard-headed and still throw these parties, still throw these concerts, and still be out in these large groups, not thinking how it's going to affect the elderly or the people that are in the hospital that just got in a car accident, they're on an oxygen tank, their immune system is very low. They're not thinking about that. They're just like, if I get it, okay, I'm going to survive. They're not worried about how spreading it. So maybe getting the vaccine for you would be a way to keep your mother safe, or a way to, you know, that way you don't have to quarantine yourself away from your mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, I definitely get that. And like I'm hoping for, you know, a vaccine to come soon, like, you know, for other people's sake. Me personally, I'm just not gonna be the one.
Yeah, you're not gonna be
like,
the guinea pig.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the
You're just gonna wait until like a couple thousand have it, and a couple years later, are they still alive? All right, let me think about it again.
Definitely, and that's just how I am. Like I don't like vaccines. I don't like medicine. I don't take anything that I don't need to take. Like when I get sick, I just let myself fight it off. Like I gotta be forced to take medicine and stuff. Like I don't.
Yeah.
But
I feel it. That's a good point, man. Like that's a really good point. I feel like I don't know. Going back to that documentary, watching that documentary, it felt like the vegans were like watching a football game, like standing at the TV, like, let's go, I've been telling y'all, like, y'all gotta stop eating meat. Because, like, a lot of the stuff came from, like, chickens. A lot of stuff was, like, they're mass producing everything.
Right.
You know? So, like, they kept referencing, when that big flu virus happened in 1918.
Spanish flu?
Yeah. Was it? Yeah,
Spanish flu.
That's what it's called. I was trying to figure out if that was later on, but yeah, Spanish flu was in 1918. They kept referencing that and how quickly it spread. And they only had 1 billion people in the world at that time. And no one was traveling. There was no flights. It was all by boat, so it would take forever to get to the other side. Now people are flying in and out of the countries, like, by the minute. And so, like, and we have times 7, almost 8 more billion people. We have 7.6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it's just spreading way faster. And I didn't even think about this, but the reason they're mass producing these chickens, these turkeys, whatever, is because they have to keep up with the demand because of how many people we have. I didn't think about that. I don't know why. I just now thinking about that, but so they're shooting these chickens up and stuff with things, and that's how, like, all this stuff is kind of starting. All the flu-like viruses,
right.
Not including all the blood type stuff that transfers, but. I just think it was interesting, bro. Yes. And I'm not like a theorist. I do like to entertain the idea.
Yeah.
I do like to play devil's advocate. But I think it's crazy. I mean, we all saw this coming. I just wish I was a little bit more prepared for it, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was coming this soon.
Right. All we can do is learn from it for the future, you know, and try to be more prepared for next time. But
that's straight facts, man. That's straight facts.
Yeah, man. But
anything you want to say to close this out?
Nah, I don't, because we're gonna
keep talking about
keep touching on it. The biggest thing going on in our other sections will probably mention it again. So let's go ahead and jump right into the next section. Go ahead and lead it off, Juwan. And jump into the hella misguided section. So this section we're going to talk about things that we feel like we as a society are hella misguided about. So I'm going to talk about right now something that I feel like we're hella misguided about is the stock market. And I'm not going to get too deep into it. I know I talked about investing last week too, but one thing, and I'll be specific, that I think people are hella misguided about is pulling their money out of the stock market right now. Real cut and dry, real simple. If you're a young investor, keep your money in. You have to ride this out. You got to ride the wave. If you're older and you're close to retirement, that's the only time it would make sense to go ahead and pull your money out. If you're watching the stock markets, you're seeing that we're having like the biggest declines right now. On Thursday, we had the
it was like almost a 2,000, right?
Yeah, it was almost a 2,000
It was
point
like
dip.
16 or something.
So we're hitting territory that we're hitting like recession territory. Good chance we're gonna be falling into a recession. So I feel like we're hella misguided about the recession and the stock market right now and what to do. So my big tip on your investment accounts right now, if you're young, if you're like 20 years or more away from retirement, keep your money in. There's only been one period from 1929 to 1954 in the U.S. history where it took more than 20 years basically to bounce back. So it took 25 years from that whole period. 1929 went the pretty much the beginning of the Great Depression up until the market basically didn't go back up until 1954. Other than that,
it's 30 years.
Yeah, but well, 25 years.
25.
And even in that scenario, you would still keep your money in if you're young because you're not going to be retiring for another 30 years. So basically, if you're young, and I said this twice already, if you're young, keep your money in. If you have an IRA, 401k, keep your money in. If you have if you only have short-term investment accounts, well, basically, if you have short-term investment accounts, you shouldn't have short-term investment accounts. There's really no point. If you have some money that you're planning on using soon and taking out soon, then it shouldn't have been in there in the first place. So that's my advice on that.
What about your advice on pulling from your checks to invest? Like, are you changing your investment strategy?
Yeah, so maybe change, if you're an investor, maybe change your investment strategy. So like for me, for example, my investment strategy is aggressive. So I want to see the biggest gains on my investment portfolio.
Risk taker.
Yeah, big risks, but I'm also going to see big losses. So that's why I'm down a lot right now. I'm really down right now, and because
have you changed your investment strategy?
I haven't changed it yet, but if
me neither.
As I'm going forward, like maybe I want to change my investment strategy to a more conservative approach. So when you're on a conservative approach with investing, that means you're going to be percenting pretty much evenly amongst U.S. stocks and bonds and large and small company stocks. So if you're investing in bonds are very low risk investments. Very low risk, but you're gonna see a steady growth over time. But you're not gonna see those huge gains like you're gonna do if you're investing mostly in stocks. So if you're doing a conservative style approach, you're gonna be pretty much investing like 20% large company stocks, 20% small U.S. company stocks, 20% in bonds, and 20% in 20% in bonds basically.
Break down the high risk stuff.
If you're in high risk, if you're an aggressive, which is where I'm at, and I don't know the exact percentage of my portfolio, but I can actually try to pull it up.
I know it's invested in real estate.
Yeah, that's so if you're aggressively investing, you're gonna be investing about 20% in real estate, 40 to 50% in large U.S. company stocks. And that's what you're not going to be investing in bonds at all. So what a good thing to do now maybe would to be to change your investment strategy to be more conservative, since you know that you're going to be losing a lot. But you definitely don't want to even think about pulling your money out this early. So that's a really good rule.
Or if you're young.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be a thought.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be a thought. But like I said, and I think I mentioned this last week, like I know young people who are like freaking out and wanting to pull out money already, but it's not going to get you anywhere. Just so I can give you guys a more accurate, so what mine is at right now. So this is my investment portfolio. So I have 38% of my money that I'm investing every every day, and is going into large company stocks. 14% is going to small company stocks. 4% is going into emerging market stocks. 8% is going into real estate stocks. 10% is going into government bonds, and 10% is going to corporate bonds. So the majority of my money is going into large company stocks and small company stocks. If you're on a conservative approach, like I said, you're investing in ultra short-term corporate bonds, ultra short-term government bonds, short-term government bonds, short-term corporate bonds, and ultra short-term corporate bonds. So when you're doing conservative, you're pretty much all your money is invested in bonds. Which, like I said, you're not going to see a large growth, but you're going to see a steady growth, and you have a much lower risk factor. So that's the difference.
Yeah. So pretty much choose what works best for you and your mental sake. Like if you want to ride that roller coaster, as fast as you want to ride it, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you stomach the ups and downs?
Yeah, definitely. And another thing we wanted to talk about is kind of switching gears, because the thought process amongst a lot of people right now isn't going to be. A lot of people don't want to start businesses right now, which is something that we're always encouraging. So yeah, like people aren't going to want to start businesses. People aren't going to want to invest. I just talked about investing, but a lot of people are like, why should I even invest right now? And that's a good point. Like if you feel like you're fearful right now to even put money in, like I completely understand that. Like if you don't want to start a business, if you don't want to invest. So one of my tips is and this is a tip for people who are already, if you're already starting a business, or if you're already in the process of having a business, one of the things that I'm doing right now to adjust is I'm not gonna be scaling right now. I'm not in scale or growth mode right now. Right now,
no, not at
exactly.
all.
Right now, I'm gonna keep my cash. I'm gonna maximize revenue on what I have now, the properties I have now, the vehicles I have now for my businesses, but I'm not going to go ahead and start to grow anymore.
Have you kind of been changing your prices with like the deflation, I want to say?
Yeah, so one thing, and that's what pretty much every company is doing right now, is in order to keep your revenue stream, keep your cash flow, you're going to have to lower your prices to encourage people to use your services and products, because I mean, people aren't really thinking about. People are thinking about putting their money towards necessities right now. So it's the same way in the airline industry. That's the reason flights are so cheap, because nobody wants to fly right now. So, but with my business, as I run, a hospitality type service and a car rental service, I'm lowering my prices because a lot of people don't want to, rent vacation homes right now because people aren't traveling. True. So now I have to focus on my local market, mm-hmm. because I have a big. I have a big client base from travelers from out of town, people from other countries, and especially with travel being completely shut off from Europe, I'm not going to have any European customers at all.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm doing to adjust is now I'm running ads specifically to my local market.
Oh, really?
I'm encouraging things like staycations. I'm encouraging things like one of my ads literally says like, why fly? Book your road trip today. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people will be more encouraged to like, oh, I'm not going to fly right now, but I can still take a road trip. Or I can plan for my road trip that's in the summertime, even specifically people that aren't going to book for this month with everything going on, but people that are going to still I still want to do something this summer, but I'm going to be scared to fly still. So people are probably switching their mentalities to towards road trips rather than flying. So things like that. So those are things that I'm doing to kind of to adjust for my business. And that's what everybody, regardless of who you are, what business you have, you just need to have some kind of strategy. A lot of people are saying cancel 2020. Don't cancel 2020. Just plan ahead, or just start planning ahead. Plan for your next. Plan that this virus is going to affect your business for the next 3 to 6 months, and go about it that way. Start making detailed and thorough plans, budget wise, forecasting what you're going to do if this happens. What you're going to do if you don't see any revenue for this period of time. And just you need to ask yourself a bunch of these questions, and don't just go ahead and tap out and bow out and think that it's over for you just because of what's going on.
Nah, because we haven't even gone into shutdown yet. We have no idea what's gonna happen. It's coming. I'm gonna shut down at least for 2 weeks is coming. I mean, as you've seen across the country, schools have been shutting down until the end of March 27th, I believe. That's happening everywhere. So everyone is preparing for a shutdown. Now that schools are shut down, what do you think the parents are doing? Everyone can't get childcare, or they don't want other people watching their kids with this virus, so they have to stay home. So now what are jobs gonna do? Okay, we're on shutdown too. So it's just like, it's going to be a domino effect as we're seeing. I mean, just yesterday, my boss was like, what are your plans for next week? Are you coming in? I know childcare is pretty tough right now. What are your plans? Like, they're, they're caring about it. It's good to see that. But I've also seen some people let go. I've had some friends already let go.
That's
jobs,
crazy.
which is like insane, because we weren't old enough to or have jobs back in the 2008 depression, or we weren't really in the work life, and now we're like seeing our friends and family be affected by it. Which is kind of insane. But I mean, it's like, it's things we have to prepare for in this world.
Definitely.
And that's pretty much what it's all about. And being guided,
absolutely.
So I like the tip that you brought up. I wanted to say, to touch on that, another thing is just being proactive. Like you said, like right now you're doing Facebook or Instagram ads. I'm not sure which one you're doing, but you're doing ads to pretty much it's true. Keep up with your clients, and I know you're adjusting prices. I'm adjusting prices. I'm thinking ahead. What I've been doing is really just emphasizing that every time a car is returned, I'm cleaning it, I'm disinfecting it, really taking care of my clients, because I truly do care about the clients. Like, I'd say the best clients for me right now are the ones that are coming back. Like, literally yesterday, I just had a client rent for like the 7th time from me.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's like those Bay Area commuters who don't have a car but still need to get to San Francisco to get to their job, or those are the ones I'm really building a relationship with.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I kind of want to like emphasize that I am taking care of the clients, or at least trying to, as far as making sure that the virus doesn't spread within my vehicles, because we got random people coming in. It's a travel business, so we had people coming from Europe. We had people coming from other countries and stuff, especially China a lot. But that hasn't been for a while, so just trying to take care of the people and being proactive, not reactive. I think that's the number one essential thing right now for any business. Is to kind of think ahead and not fall behind,
Definitely.
But I mean, it's a process. It takes a while. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on if you do have a business, what are you guys doing? If you have a clothing business, what are your steps right now? Have you paused your Facebook and Instagram advertising? Are you doing more of it? What are your steps that you're taking? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and kind of share ideas and bounce them off. It's pouring outside right now.
Man, I know, it's crazy.
Jesus.
Definitely don't feel like driving back.
Sorry, bro. I got a bed over there. No, but yeah. Any other tips for our Hella Misguided section?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of overlapped into the business section, to be real, but we can just jump into business talk.
All right. What you got for us?
Man, I think I touched on like tips for current business owners, but tips for like future business owners and future investors. I would say that, like I said, it's very understandable that you don't want to put money into because people don't even have job security right now with what's going on. So, like I said, for people who were thinking about starting a business or thinking about jumping into like a new side hustle, and the virus kind of threw you off, I would say like you would just need to plan in the same way. Like plan for what you're gonna plan for how you're gonna survive yourself with if you think that your job, you don't have a secure job right now, if you think that you could be laid off, or that even if not laid off, if you're just not gonna be having a paycheck for the next 14 days, and I'm predicting a nationwide shutdown, so we're probably gonna see a nationwide shutdown to where we're quarantined full time for the next 30 days. So I would say just focus on the necessities, focusing on caring for yourself, your family, but then build up a plan for how you're gonna bounce back afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So that way, when stuff starts to get normal again, you'll be able to just be kind of full steam ahead into whatever you were planning to do. Like when either investing or starting a business. Because like I said, no one wants to start a business right now, but plan. Just don't keep it on the forefront of your mind that that's still something that you want to do, and just figure out everything you're gonna need to put that into action, so that when the economy starts to bounce back a little bit, you can kind of be on that same path.
I feel it. I got a question for you. What, in your mind, what would be the best businesses to start right after everything starts to climb back up?
Man, I would say a tax business would be. That's something that I was thinking about a while ago.
Like doing people's taxes?
Yeah, maybe getting certified as a CPA. It doesn't take too long. And because
it's crazy because everyone, especially business tax, everyone needs help on business taxes.
Exactly, and that's
a lot of money.
Exactly, taxes are recession proof. They're virus proof. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world.
That's true.
People have to do their taxes.
They have to. I mean, luckily, I think they just extended it. They're either deciding to extend it to October. I was about to say April. October, but I think that's in the process right now. Which is good because I tried to reach our tax person and she ain't responded.
Man,
so, I hope she's all right.
She's overwhelmed with stuff, man.
I know,
but
man.
she hit me back though. But yeah, definitely a tax business would be a great business to start. Like I said, that's something that you could always depend on. And then it's something I always preach is real estate.
That would be good to invest in right now.
Yeah, mortgage rates and loan rates are getting cut very low. That's as they always do.
Some are starting at like 2%.
Yeah, so if you're looking into if you've already been saving money to go ahead and buy an investment property, or even if it's not an investment property, just to buy a house, like now's the perfect time. The next few months are going to be the perfect time to go ahead and purchase a home. Start your real estate business, start getting tenants, creating a monthly cash flow and creating equity for yourself and long-term wealth. That's my favorite business is a real estate business. So those are big things that I would always preach because they're going to survive regardless of what's happening in the world.
And they always flourish after a economy fall.
Absolutely.
They always flourish. Real estate has never disappointed.
Yeah,
it may disappoint for a short period of time, but a long time, just like the stock market, never disappointed. It's always going up.
Definitely. Yeah, so my biggest things I want people to take away is don't let what's going on in the world affect you. It's gonna affect you, but don't let it affect your future goals is what I would say. I think that should be the biggest takeaway.
I feel it.
Because it's easy to get discouraged at a time like this. It's easy to put everything aside and only think about how am I gonna get through? How am I gonna get through the next day? But you'll get through it. I mean, we've been through things like this. We've been through Great Depressions, world wars, natural disasters, other pandemics, and I mean the world always bounces back. So,
I just came up with the title of this episode. Getting through.
For sure.
Because the last one was getting started. Now we're getting through the pandemic. And yep. Alrighty.
For sure.
Is that all you got, man, on our section?
Man, yeah, that's all I got.
Gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, we're finna get into our guided conclusion section, where we ask each other one question that we previously had thought of. And you're going to kind of get to know us a little bit more. It could be a question about anything. We don't know what each other's question is before. But yeah, this is our guided solution section, or guided conclusion section. Sorry. And you get to know us a little bit. So I can't remember who started last time.
I started last time, so you go ahead and start this one up.
For sure. All right. My question for you is, what are you doing to prepare for a shutdown? We've seen people buying toilet paper, buying water, buying all these things, trying to prepare for a apocalypse. So what are you doing for a shutdown? if we were to quarantine ourselves. What are you doing business-wise? You kind of touched up on it, so you don't really need to reiterate yourself on the business aspect. But I guess, personally, what are you doing for you and your family?
For sure. I mean, for me, preparation for me started, way before we even heard of a virus. I've always been preparing ahead. That's one thing. Like Raina would always ask me, like, what are you saving for?
Why do you have such a big savings?
Exactly. Why are you always saving? And I always tell her, like, that's such a loaded question, and I would just like list all the things that I'm saving for. So it's like I've always been preparing for something like this to happen. Always having so my biggest thing for preparation, I think preparation starts before catastrophe. So I've been preparing. I've been saving up. What I'm doing right now is just trying to making sure I just have essentials. I'm not going crazy. I'm not standing in line at Costco before they open, and I'm not buying things in bulk like that. But I'm just making sure I have the essentials before everybody takes them off the shelves. I'm seeing what I can and can't order online. I'm making sure I'm just making sure like my mom, my sisters are good, making sure that that they have everything they need. And yeah, just staying calm, keeping a positive mindset. That's the biggest thing for me. That's the biggest way. So those are the biggest ways I'm preparing.
I feel it. Okay. For me, I'd say I've been preparing by. I did stand in one Costco line. That's only because I needed baby food, and they have like the biggest container for the cheapest price. It's like a big container for like $19. And my baby loves it, so I needed that. So I had to stand into the Costco line because we already needed it. It wasn't just for like the pandemic.
Yeah.
But we stacked up on food Friday. I say we both went to the grocery store, stacked up on food. We needed to grocery shop anyways. So now we're stacked just in case we need to quarantine ourselves for the next 2 weeks to a month. It's definitely not gonna last a month, so we're probably gonna have to go back out into the world. I'm going to work anyway, so and I'm in and out stores every freaking minute, so
yeah, definitely.
I just be trying to grab whatever I can, cause I am in there early, so I'm in there pretty much when the store opens. So I'm first there. I see the toilet paper coming in, the water coming in. I haven't bought water yet though. Like I don't get it. I don't get the water. Like I'm still
I have
drinking.
a filter, so I'm cool.
Yeah, I have the fridge filter, so like I'm just drinking it. But someone did bring up a good point. They were saying that if we do go into shutdown, the people at the plants can't work. The people can't filter the water.
For sure,
they can't produce. They can't produce the water, and the toilet paper. If they're not working, where's the toilet paper gonna come from? If the stores are shut down, how are we gonna get toilet paper?
Right.
So it's just crazy. A lot of people bought bidets on Amazon.
Really?
They're like pretty much all sold out. I looked yesterday. I was like,
yeah,
dude, I kind of want a bidet. Like after this pandemic, I might invest in a bidet.
All right.
Have you ever used one?
Nah, I'm solid on those.
Okay. Because I know you traveled abroad.
Yeah.
On
the bidet. I'll hop in the shower.
I'll hop in the shower. Get a little shower head. I just been preparing, like, just stacked up on food, pretty much. Haven't really been spending money that I don't need to, just to have that fall. I get paid next week, thankfully. Rent's been paid already. All our major bills have been paid. Just kind of preparing for my business, actually. I've been kind of looking at my bank account every day, which I do anyways, but just seeing, like, what money's coming in from the car rental business and seeing how much I know has to go out for bills. I've been checking to see if Patelco is offering, like, a grace period, a longer grace period.
Their grace period right now is pretty good.
It's 10 days. I ain't tripping.
But no, I know what you mean.
Just to see if it's because like the student loan interest on student loans have been kind of waived for now.
For sure.
So I've been checking to see if Patelco issued anything. They haven't. But it's cool though, because right now for some reason, like, I still got cash coming in from the car rental business. I thought it would be like a complete halt.
Yeah.
But I've had one cancellation due to the coronavirus.
Sure.
And
I
that
had
was
like
for this.
4 or 5.
Oh man.
It's all good.
But you also got a lot more bars than I do, so.
It's all good, man. But yeah, definitely.
What's your question, bro?
My question is, what I was gonna ask you how soon do you think you're going to fly again once everything kind of dies down? Like, are you how much how much fear do you have of flying again? Just with everything, with contracting, getting infected, and all that stuff, and how soon do you think you're gonna fly again?
So right now, I have a trip booked for Mexico in July, which we talked about on the previous podcast. But I have a trip for Mexico in July, and Mexico is like not really infected right now, like at all. If you look at the map, well, at least that was a couple of days ago. I don't know about now, but I mean, if everything calms down before then, we go into this month quarantine or whatever. Trump decides, then I wouldn't mind flying in July, man. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm not too paranoid. I feel like if everyone goes into quarantine, at least for 2 weeks, that slows down the spread. Everyone recovers who is sick, and if you're not sick, you spend that time disinfecting and cleaning, everything, and taking the precautions.
Yeah.
It slows down the virus and can potentially kill it until we come up with a vaccine, which I think people are working very hard to right now.
For sure.
So, like I said, I think things will calm down by then.
Yeah.
That's my hope. So I'd be ready to fly around July.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't see a problem unless things worsen.
Yeah, I mean things are gonna get worse before they get better, but I'm hoping by July that'll probably be like a downturn.
What's your idea of things will get worse before they get better as far as the coronavirus?
I mean, like,
what is worse right now?
Worse, I mean more people dying
Mm-hmm.
is the worst thing. A nationwide shutdown is obviously, it's not good for most people.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's
coming. Yeah, so that's probably
gonna be like
worst case. Shoot, I'm hoping that if they do a nationwide shutdown, we don't have to pay rent though. That's what I heard. That's what they're doing in like Italy and stuff.
Yeah, that's why my lady hasn't paid rent yet. We have it. It's due in a couple of days, but
man,
she's like been holding off. Like I'm hoping they waive it.
Yeah.
Because once they announce a shutdown, I mean, they kind of have to, right? Like what?
Okay.
Shit, I don't know. How people gonna go to work next week? Like
yeah, definitely.
All the kids are out of school. Who
Man.
gonna watch them?
But yeah, man.
I feel it. I think that is the worst case scenario is pretty much shutting down everything and everyone's kind of locked up and the world kind of just stops. Dude, if you are invested in Netflix right now, man.
Yeah, Netflix, Clorox are going up. There was one more that was really going up, but
it was hand sanitizer.
Yeah, but
I looked at a couple things. There were actually some interesting ones that I found. Like it's like dialysis. The dialysis machines were going up, and they over the last 10 years or 5 years, they're have been just climbing. Like I'm talking 326%. Like they're going crazy. So look into that dialysis machines
for sure.
But yeah, that was hella random.
Nah, but that's the things that people should look at. Like if you're like want to invest in stocks, you gotta look at those gems because there's a lot of ways people can capitalize right now. But that being said, talk a lot about the coronavirus. We should probably change the name of our podcast to the coronavirus podcast. Temporarily. But nah, I think we put out some good tips. Yeah, everybody out there, just make sure you're staying safe, washing your hands, planning ahead, and just don't give up on your goals. That's the biggest takeaway from today. Get through it. Get through it. Yeah,
for real. I was just about to say that. It's a great way to wrap it up. And so that is the end of episode 3. That is our guided conclusion section, and you can reach us at the Misguided Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want, YouTube. Check us out. You can email us at the Misguided Pod. Sorry. The misguidedpod@gmail.com. And let us know your thoughts. Hit us up. We want to hear from you guys. All right. Mike, what's your at?
My ad is Mikey MIKEYYFI. That's my Instagram.
Fire.
That's pretty much all I use. Go ahead.
And you can hit me up at Juwan Rohan Music on all platforms. And that's it, guys.
For sure, for sure.